Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. Today is February 23rd, 2023. If I'm remembering correctly, and it didn't come up in my memories, but if I'm remembering correctly, today is the anniversary of losing John Baker, the founder of Celebrate Recovery, as he went home to celebrate the ultimate victory and recovery by going home with the Lord. But as I was reading today in Proverbs 23, the first thing I read was in 15, well, it's not the first thing I read, but it's the first thing that jumped at me was 23, 15, and 16. It says, "My son, if your heart is wise, my heart will indeed rejoice. My innermost being will cheer when your lips pronounce what is right." You know, John Baker must have been the epitome of that, not only in having it said about him by the Lord, but I think often saying it about you and I as we find ourselves in that position of speaking about, I just got to do the next right thing, or it's one day at a time, or you can't heal a hurt by saying it's not there, or so many of the other recovery cliches that are so absolutely true that we couldn't live without them. And so I'm sure that you and I, as we continue down this path, will remember those things. And others will be able to say that, God will be able to say the same thing about you and I. My son, if your heart is wise, my heart indeed will rejoice. My innermost being will cheer when your lips pronounce what is right. That's what can be said about you. You don't say it all the time, neither do I. But the reality is, you and I, we say the right thing. We pronounce what is right. And not only does God's heart rejoice, his innermost being cheer, but there are people around us that when that is true and they can see it, they cheer. See, Chris is watching right now. You know, and I don't normally call people out, but I see that Chris is watching right now. Chris, I want you to know your mom and dad, they rejoice. I rejoice at what's going on in your life. You have changed your life, your children, and so many of you others out there have been able to be watched and see, and they rejoice. Your family's hearts are cheering, and they're actually rejoicing for what they see in your life, even though some of them, some of my family even, are making the rejoicing look like anger because, well, you changed. You're not the same person, and I don't know how to deal with that. We can't use that as our excuse to fall backwards. Verse 12 of Proverbs 23 says this: "Apply yourself to discipline and listen to the words of knowledge. Don't withhold discipline from a youth." Apply yourself to discipline. Apply yourself to instruction. Listen to the words of knowledge. Do that. Let God not only rejoice, but cheer. Let the people around you rejoice and cheer. Sometimes you'll never even know, because it says, "My innermost being will cheer when your lips pronounce what is right." I love y'all. I hope you have a great day. God bless.